Good evening. I'd like to invite you to come in and take a seat. And I want to thank you for being here for this time of visitation as we gather with the family and friends of Jeff to remember his life and to give thanks for him. At this time, we will have Mark lead us in one decade of the Rosary. And after that, it will be a time for anyone who wishes to come up and share memories about Jeff. So I'd like to invite Mark to come up and to lead us in one decade of the Rosary.
So as we begin all things, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let's reflect upon the resurrection of Jesus, the same resurrection promised to our brother Jeff. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
So at this time, we would invite anyone who wishes to share a memory of Jeff to come forward, and we will have this time of sharing until 5:45. So please don't hesitate.
For those who don't know, I'm Jeff's little brother, Jamel. First off, I'd just like to thank my family. The Periguero family, the Lamoon family. for being with us every step of the way, and just the way that we come together and always have each other's backs, and never hesitate to have a helping hand, and just like Jeff would be. And I thank you all and all the families that have been by our side throughout it all. Thank you so much. One of my fondest memories of Jeff was on the basketball court. It was about 15 years ago. We were playing at Tice Valley Gymnasium out in Walnut Creek, and it was like the best place to play, like for competitive recreational basketball. And it was like 30, 40 people would be waiting to get on one court. And on this one particular night, there was one team running the court all night. So before we got on the court, we all congregated, we huddled up, and we strategized. And we said, we're going to focus on 3 keys for this game. We're going to be patient, we're going to take good shots, and we're going to crash the boards. So we get on the court, and we size them up. It's Pat, Bradley, Robert Farrar, Jerry, Jeff, and I. 2 white guys, 3 Asian guys, all under 6 foot. And the other team, the complete opposite. They're like former college players, current college players at that time. So we get on the court, and they take the ball out. They miss. We get the stop. We outlet it to Jeff at half court. He takes 2 dribbles in from half court, and I just see his eyes get wide, like real big. So like all of us are just looking around like, dude, what is he going to do? So in slow motion, we're like, no, don't do it. So with his like low release and his high arc, like with each rotation, it like felt like an eternity. And boom, he swishes it. And like in pure Jeff fashion, he's backpedaling with his tongue out. And I'll try to make the best Jeff impression possible, but he's like, ah! And without Jeff taking that risk, I don't think we win that game because we were just in there to play it safe. So we definitely have to thank him for that game. The next fondest memory I would say is just right over there in that gym. CYO basketball was like I was in 5th or 6th grade. I get a cross-court steal all alone, go up, hit the layup, and I turn around and I get a push to the back. And I'm like, I turn around and it's Jeff on the court. And he's like, let's go. And the athletic director runs on the court thinking it's a stranger trying to attack me. And he kicks Jeff out of the gym. And so Jeff, being the biggest supporter of me, that I know, he watched the entire game from the locked doors and through the glass. Also, another memory on the other side of the school, 8th grade classroom. Jeff had some bad blood with some kid that was like 1 or 2 years younger than him. And when Jeff graduated, this guy just, he wanted to take it out on me. And I just remember it was a rainy day, and this is a time where, parents or whoever's picking up kids could drive up right next to the classrooms to prevent the kids from getting wet. So Jeff rolls up in the Honda Prelude, skirts, jumps out of the car, gets in the guy's face and tells him off. And I was kind of worried because the 8th grader was kind of big, and I'd probably be a fair fight, but it didn't matter to Jeff because he was going to protect his little brother no matter what. He was a truly protector of loved ones. And kind of leads me to my next story is Jeff was a father. For a lot of you that don't know, he, to much of the dismay of some of our family and including myself, he dated a single mother. But the really good thing that came out of that situation was that Jeff was like a great father to the kids. And he worked 60-plus hour weeks, bought him a house, did everything he could do to provide for them. And he did that because he was raised and watched my father provide and be such a good father. He learned it from my mom, who's a most accommodating and nurturing person. And he also learned loyalty. The night that Jeff passed, we had all family and friends around the living room, and we were watching the Warriors game, and we were getting smacked by the Mavericks. And with what little energy he had, he turned to me and he just goes, "We suck." And he starts laughing. So we just start reminiscing about all the good times. Like, dude, we got to experience 3 Warriors championships, 3 Giants championships, albeit a long time ago, the Niners Super Bowl. And that loss kind of symbolized to me that, like, a lot of the dark times of our team's, like, futility was, like, in a way, like a foundation in which we strengthen our bond with all the discussions, the debates, text messages, sitting right beside him for the games. And it was just the journey, you know? And I'm just going to miss him by my side, but I know he'll be up there. So 2 nights before he passed, I was holding his hand, and I just couldn't stop crying. And he turns to me with little energy he had left, and he's like, "Chill." And I'm like, dude, I can't chill. But what Jeff said in that was that he doesn't want us to be sad. He wants us to be happy. And he wants to live a life where we're smiling and taking care of family and friends. Just lastly, just think of a time, everybody here, just think of a time that you had a moment, you shared a nice moment with Jeff, and whatever positive experience you got or positive feeling you got from that interaction with him, just please share it with the people that you care about. Please share it with the people that you love, and maybe they'll share it with the people in their lives. So, and in that, I know that Jeff's spirit will live on forever. So, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Brian, Jeff's cousin. We basically grew up together. There's like 4 of us. There's me, Jerry, Jeff, and Eric, who are really close in age. So we spent a lot of time together from a very young age. So known him his whole life. And, Jeff and I always had a really good relationship. I kind of took him under my wing, and I know he looked up to me. And, if I could talk to him right now, I'd let him know that, but really, I learned a lot more from him than he ever learned from me. I taught him maybe like little things along the way, like, how to travel without a suitcase and stuff like that, or how to fix his hair. But he taught me the real important things, like how important family is and how important it is to take care of people and how important it is to, foster relationships with the people you care about, even when it's really hard. The past few years, I probably didn't speak to him as much as I wish I could have, and all the opportunities when I had to stay in touch with him were opportunities that he created. He reached out to me. He knew I was really busy with life and kids and stuff like that. But he always made that effort with me, and I really regret not taking advantage of those opportunities more often than I did. And that wasn't just something he did with me, he did it with everyone in the family. You know, we have a large family, and it's hard to stay close-knit when it's really large. But something Jeff always did was definitely maintain those relationships, you know, and you look across all the people in our family, you know, the elder ones, the uncles, the cousins, the girls, the boys, the young ones. Jeff had a good relationship with all of them, and you know, a large family needs a glue to keep it together, and definitely he's one of the foremost people that was the glue of this family. You know, I had stories when we were young. Me, Jerry, Jeff, and Eric always, when we played basketball, when we paired up 2-on-2, it was always me and Jeff, Jerry and Eric, which, if you know us, that's not the fair team, because Jerry was the best. The fair team would have been Jerry and Jeff, but you know what? I always picked Jeff first because, you know, I think in a way, I think Jeff wanted to stick it to Jerry if we can get a W, but also, you know, I knew he'd play hard for me, and because, you know, I loved him so much, and whenever we did get that W, man, no one would be happier than Jeff. Big ear-to-ear grin, you know, especially if he scored, got a rebound off Eric, man, that was good times. And, you know, it wasn't just when he played basketball, too. You know, he carried that happy, positive energy with everything he did, you know, not just basketball. It's like, even if we just went out to eat, you know, he'd be really happy about just being out to eat, you know, or just be really happy about watching TV with you, you know, just really happy guy. And, you know, people who bring that kind of energy is someone you want in your life at all times, and alongside you as you navigate through the struggles of your life. And it's really sad that I'm not going to have him providing that life for me, because I always counted on him being there. You know, always counted on. You don't expect people who are like your age or people you grew up with to leave you so soon, and you take them for granted, I think. And it's going to be hard going forward without that. But his light's always going to shine no matter what, whether he's physically here or not. So I'll take that with me, and I'll take everything I can get. And I'm going to spend the rest of my days definitely reminding my family, reminding my children, reminding all our children, you know, what kind of man Jeff was, and how important he was to this family, and how important the things he stood for, how important those things are to keeping a family close and keeping relationships close. And I'm just going to try to be more like him, and never let anyone forget who he was and what he meant to everybody. Thanks for listening.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. And knowing Jeff, and especially in the past month when we all got together to support the family. I'm sorry, I'm Eric, Jeff's cousin, the one that Brian had mentioned earlier. But for as long as I've known Jeff, I to be honest, I didn't know how many people he really, truly touched. And in this past month, I think that's when I really got to feel like why his friendships and relationships were so strong. You know, the people that he touched and affected were so appreciative of his presence because of who he was and his spirit. The hospitality, how much he cared about every single person. It's special. You don't find that in a lot of people. And even for me, as much as I try to kind of emulate the way our family has brought us up to care and take care of one another, you know, and just life happens. You know, you try to be successful in your career, you try to be the best that you can be, and sometimes you think about those things more than somebody else. And I think Jeff had always taught me that even in those moments, you know, everyone that you care about, like their happiness can be your happiness. That could be the best part of everything that you have, is seeing your loved ones, your family, your friends, feeling joy. That can be the joy that you have, because that's how I saw Jeff. Like the biggest smile, and I know everybody can picture it in their minds right now, Jeff's humongous smile. Like the smile he had was brightest when he saw you happy, you know, whether it was because of a sporting event or because of the food that, you know, he was able to tell you the best way to enjoy the food, whether it was different ingredients or whatever it was, you know, when he was a part of your joy, that made him smile the brightest. And I don't know how to emulate that. You know, I don't know how I can do that. I mean, I feel like I try to do the same sort of things. And Jeff did it so naturally because I think that was who he was. That's what made Jeff happy, was seeing his friends and family and loved ones happy. And in any way possible that he could do that, that's what he had in his mind first and foremost. So I think about those things. I know Jamil had said, you know, he wants us to be happy. He doesn't. You know, I think one of the reasons why he wanted to come home was just to be around everybody and feel that. I mean, there were times, you know, growing up where, you know, I thought I was too cool to go to a family party. You know, I had other things to do. But, you know, Jeff had told me, he said, you know, a lot of people aren't close to their families. A lot of people don't know a lot of their family members. Some people don't know their uncles or their, you know, some people don't know their mother and father. And for us to be blessed with a close family like we have, to be around each other and to be a part of each other's lives is something not only to appreciate, but to enjoy. And for us to be around each other in the past month, I think was one of the greatest gifts that I think he could have ever given us. Because even though some of us have our differences and some of us, you know, have our struggles, some of us have our obstacles, and some of us have our successes that we want to keep on nurturing. But being around each other is something that, you know, at some point, you just never know when that time is going to come when you won't be able to have that anymore. So I think what I appreciate most about Jeff was that his generosity wasn't, you know, it wasn't something that he thought about. It was because that's who he had in his heart. And it was a gift that not many people have. And that's the part I feel like I want to carry with me. And even to this moment, I still hear his voice saying, everything that he always said. You know, he seemed to have a catchphrase or a remark for every moment in time. You know, well, like Jamel said, right now he would totally tell us to chill and just, you know, just even say, the way he even said, "Hey guys," you know. And even the way he would be happy is knowing we were all going to go eat after this, you know. And for me, I hear his voice constantly. And part of me, it hurts knowing that it took him not being here to have him closest to me, but I think that's the gift that Jeff gives us, you know. Your loved ones don't have to be close. You can be wherever you are and always have them close to you. So I think for all of us, even just being around each other, appreciating each other, and kind of even thinking about in our hearts, what would Jeff do? You know, how would he feel? What would he say? And I can't think of another person that I know that I can truly say, thinking about what he would say or what he would do would be the right, generous, and loving thing. So I think I think what Brian was trying to get at too is like for him, he'll always be around. You know, he'll always be by our side, cheering us on, doing the things that, you know, that he was happy seeing us do. So, you know, for all the things that I know it hurts right now, I carry with me because I know he's always going to be there. And for us, I think that the biggest part is he'd want us all to be there for each other too. So, thank you guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm Patrick. I'm the short white guy in Jamel's story. I have to point out, we did win that game, and the only little change in that story is actually, it was everything Jamel said. It was heated, the whole deal. But Jeff actually hit the winning shot. And we were trying to stall the game clock out because it was on a 10-minute timer. And we told everyone, hey, let's just pass the ball around. We're going to win. And Jeff gets to half court, man. And we yelled, no. And he just swished it, like, man. And the joy that was on his face and in all of us at that moment was, I mean, it's incredible. I literally have a million stories about Jeff. I love him like a brother. I was thinking about what everybody was saying, and I go back to the last meal I had with Jeff. I didn't know it was going to be, but I needed a ride. As many of you needed one from Jeff at some point. I think we might have all gotten a ride from Jeff somewhere along the way. I was at the airport, and it was, you know, whatever time. It was late, I know that. Bart wasn't running, whatever. And, like, I asked if he would get me. No problem, he'll be there. But he had one condition on this particular day. He said, you got to come to, he's like, Pat, I'll pick you up. But only on one condition. You've got to come with me to Lucky Chances and eat the kari kari. With extra peanut butter. And man, talk about joy. His joy, again, was not like he loved to eat, don't get me wrong, but he wanted to see me eat that food. And he wanted to watch me and get the extra vinegar. He said, hey, we need more of this. We need more of this. And he wanted to have everything there. Man, we ate so much. I wasn't even hungry, but I ate because it's Jeff, And it's like, of course, we're going to do that. And it was a joyful, happy time between the two of us at like 2 a.m, in Daly City. And I'll never forget that. I didn't realize, it'd be our last like one-on-one together, And I'm going to miss him, as we all are. But I think Eric and what everybody's saying is on point, and that is that he just emanated joy, and I'm going to carry that with me, And I think everybody who was touched by him will. Love you, Jeff.
Sorry, I need my notes. Hello, good evening. That's just a little inside joke between me and Kuya Jeffy. It was kind of loud. My name is Alfred, or to Jeff, I was Kuya Alfred. I've known the Perdigueras for about 20 years. Jerry, Jeff, and Jamil like brothers to me. I originally became friends with Jamil, but as many of you know, if you're friends with one brother, you're friends with them all. There are many wonderful things I can say about Kuya Jeffy, but one attribute I admired the most was his confidence, just straight confidence. He would roll up to any formal event with J's on. He started that, okay? Or if it was him having his windows down, driving down Cocoa Boulevard, singing Sarah Bareilles, that song that goes, I'm not gonna write you a love song if you ask for it. Yeah, that one. He didn't care. It made him happy, and that's all that mattered. That's one thing I really admired about him. Kuya Jeffy, I'll miss your random FaceTimes of you showing me some bomb food or Nakos, sending me Fung Bros, sending me Strictly Dumpling YouTube links, or the next Triple D spot that we have to put on our list to go try. I'll miss playing ball and watching you shoot from Steph Curry range. As Jamil said, he had Steph Curry range before Steph Curry. He invented that. I'll miss you dancing in the Escalade as you drive, again, windows down, listening to your favorite Drake song that's out at the time for the 5th time in a row on repeat. And most of all, I'll miss walking into 136 and you with that big smile and just going, wow, Kuya Alfred. I love you, Kuya Jeffy. I'll miss you. And I'll see you again, brother.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's JoJo. I'm at the IME's younger sister, the fiance of Jerry. Well, I've known the Perdiguera brothers for a while now, ever since I was a kid, when Jerry used to watch us with me and my sister, and we'd come over to their house. And the one thing that I remember most was there was a book that said how to have game. And I asked, whose is this? And it was Jeff's. And I was like, why do you have to have game with girls? And he said, I just had to. And the fondest memory that I had was actually my 21st birthday. And Jeff was the one who drove us, and we were bumping oldies all night until we went to the clubs in Walnut Creek. And I remember just coming back to the car, drunk as hell, and saying, Jeff, you the man! And being so grateful for him driving us everywhere and anywhere. And the one thing that he taught me in the short amount of time that I had with him was to love unconditionally. Just his smile brought so much love to my heart. I learned so much from him in that short amount of time. And by just looking at him and asking him, can I see your smile one more time? Brought love and peace in my heart. I know that his passing was the saddest moment, but I had no sadness in my heart. I know that he's up there looking at us, looking down at us with this smile. And I'm so grateful for the time that I had with him. Jeff, I love you so much, and I can't wait to see your smile again. Thank you.
If anyone else would like to come forward and share a memory about Jeff, we have just a few more minutes, so please feel free if you wish to.
Hi, my name's EJ. I'm one of Jeff's childhood friends. We went to the same school here, same grade. We kind of lost touch the last few years, but he's a huge part of my childhood. I remember When he first came to our school, some of us were at Christ the King since pre-K, but he came a little bit later. And one of the first things I remember about him was that he pretended not to know English when he first started school. And I was like, wow. I was really impressed. I was actually envious that I couldn't speak another language, because I thought that was a great thing, a great prank. And being a new kid at a new school, especially a small school, it's kind of hard to get integrated. But I don't remember him having a tough time. He was just, always by your side, loyal to a fault, and just brought joy and, positive energy everywhere he went. And he was always, a staple of our group. And also, he was the only one who had a louder voice than me, which helped because my mom also worked at Christ the King, and she said that she could only hear his voice and my voice down the hall. So without him, I probably would have got in trouble a lot more. But and then also he was, we were part of the first Jean-Claude Van Damme fan club. Only one who was more outspoken about his love for him than me. So I carry that to this day. I have so many memories. Probably not appropriate for this setting, but he had a certain prowess in the basketball court. Maybe not so much skill-wise, but he made his presence known. Every time I saw him, it's like, we never missed a beat. But that's, kind of how good friends are, and how I miss him. Thanks.
Buckle up. So, I was the 5th player at Tice Valley. I was the second gringo on the court. Myself, growing up, Jeff originally, I came in 2nd grade to Christ the King. Jeff, I think, came in 1st grade. And we just did not see eye to eye. We actually fought nonstop. So what's interesting is the game of basketball, I think, not only brought myself and the brothers together, but hundreds of other kids. I mean, our days of traveling, going to Tice Valley, Bollinger, Boston, playing in an NBA Hoop It Up tournament, traveling with one another. Just some of the best times ever. And I've always looked at the brothers as family. Lilia and CMP. CMP used to always give me hell, but I knew it came from a great place, and he enjoyed seeing all of us boys getting together and congregating at Julian Way. Those are just some of the best childhood memories. Jeff and I, one of my first car accidents I got into, Jeff was with me. When my first racing, his Prelude versus my Camaro, it was with Jeff. Getting pulled over in the Prelude. It was with Jeff. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm gonna miss you. Jeff used to always call me on my birthday and say happy birthday, or send me a text. We'd get together, we'd try to get lunch, and things have become just no excuses, but busy in life with kids, and life's got the better part of me, and we didn't get to get lunch last time, and very sorry. Love you, man.
Hello, everybody. My name is Armando. I moved from San Francisco to Pleasant Hill over 30 years ago, knowing nobody in this town. And the first people I met were the Pertigueras. So basketball was like everybody else, was our connection point. So the first time I met them, Pat and Jerry were playing, and Pat, the white ball guy back there, the small one, said that was speaking Tagalog with Jerry. And I did not know what to think about this, but they had this language that I didn't understand. But they would have in each other's heads, but no one else knew what they were doing. But I learned what Balik was. I learned other language. And I was fascinated, to tell the truth. So, I had spoke some conversation with all the same age groups. And Pat told me that he lived at the Bertigueras in the garage, and ants would crawl on his face. And he lived there with Jeff. So Jeff's there too, and he's going along with the story. So I told him they both would come, live at my house. We have 2 couches, and I got 4 brothers and a sister and my 2 parents, but, we'll make it work. And they laughed. They thought it was the funniest thing on earth, and we got close at that moment in time. So many summers we played there, and I would always land up in 136 Julian Way. And everybody there was so close, and I met so many friends from all the brothers over the years. And I bonded with Jeff. We worked some of the same jobs together. We went on trips, Tahoe, Reno. We did all different activities. And one story I had happen that I want to share is Jeff was a manager at a restaurant, and he told me to come in. I came in with my girlfriend and her parents, and we're sitting there, ate probably about $300 worth of food, drinks, so forth. And we're ready to pay the bill, and Jeff whispers, just go. And my girlfriend's parents didn't know what to do. They thought it was a dining dash situation, and I didn't know what to do, the truth. So we were sitting there for 30 more minutes, so Jeff was busy. He was the greatest manager. He's bouncing around tables, serving, doing all kinds of different things. And he finally come back and said, "Hey, we want to pay the bill." He's all, "Just go." So I went first, and I kind of brought him over, and then we came back, and he put a good tip on the table. But I don't know what they thought about that day, but me and her and Jeff just laughed and laughed and laughed afterwards. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget how we laughed after the fact. Just like the ant store, we just laughed. And that's who Jeff was. He made people laugh. He made people feel good about themselves. And my family, they all know him. Extended family even, uncles, grandparents, people that aren't with us anymore, but they always ask me how Jeff's doing. And I'll never forget the good times he had just, at 136 and on trips, and it's always been that connection there. So I'll miss him, but I'll never forget him.
Hey everybody, I'm Keith. I'm probably the only black guy that you guys always saw with Jeff. And actually, we were pretty inseparable. We hung out every single day. We'd always get made fun of. We'd get called names, stuff like that. But, I met Jeff for the first time probably at Tice Valley, where everybody probably shared a lot of memories at, even at P Hill. And I just always remember with Jeff, he would always be the only guy not guarded at half court, but still wide open, and he would still shoot that shot because he just had the most confidence in the entire world. I looked up to Jeff all the time, and I remember he would come in and have these bracelets on his arm, LeBron James and all these great bracelets, and I remember he would always come into the gym and give me a bracelet, and he'd be like, "Here, this is for you." And he would always be caring and be the most upstanding person that I've ever known, and always cared for one another, for his brothers or his friends, whoever it was. If you or was his friend, he'd always be there for you. But one of my favorite memories, not about him, but about him and Jamil and Jerry. in the younger days, and Jeff was telling me about the story because we have a lot of stories to talk about. And Jamil and Jerry were arguing, and Jerry's the older brother, and so Jamil was just like talking to Jerry all crazy, and Jamil wasn't having that, and all Jeff heard was a thud, and then all you hear is Jamil going, and just crying about it. And, just Jeff would have all these stories and have all these memories, and he would just spread like love and laughter. And, if I had something to say about Jeff, I just would say, don't forget about the person that he was. Just remember as who he was, and he's always been an uplifting, laughable person, the biggest smile in the room, no matter what it was. And I'm definitely going to be missing Jeff throughout my entire life that I have left, and just I wish that I can just I don't know, but I'm gonna love you, Jeff, forever, bro, and thank you guys for the time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Will. I'm part of one of Jeff's many extended families. I'm one of the family of idiots that would constantly make it to his house to watch sporting events. I think what Alfred said was true in terms of you befriend one Perdigera brother, you befriend them all. And I think that with Jeff, however, just like with all of them, there's a very unique characteristic with him, and I think it's not surprising to me that so much of what everybody has said kind of backs up what I felt about Jeff as far as how he expressed himself and just how he was as a person, which is that he's very, shall we say, emphatic about everything. He was very emphatic about everything. He was very uncompromising with the things that he said. And, that comes out in a bunch of different ways. Many times it came forward in certain sports opinions that he had that not everyone agreed with. It came out how he reacted to other people. And it came out in terms of like how he and his brothers all had like very different ways of welcoming me into that community of people that would like just gather to like enjoy sporting events together. I think that if any of you in this room have ever felt bullied by anybody, a lot of times some of the most important feelings that you can have is like feelings of belonging somewhere. And I think that, Jerry and Jamil would like want me to come over and like watch sporting events with them. Like, yeah, come over. With Jeff, it was like a little bit different. It was kind of like, hey, you're coming over next weekend, right? Well, yeah. It's like, what's going on next weekend? You know what's happening this weekend? No, I don't. Like, yeah, well, just come over. It's like, all right, fine. Don't beat me up. And it's just that feeling of like welcoming and wanting you to be a part of something and enjoying it with you, and just being uncompromising and like feeling a certain way about things and not compromising at all. I distinctly remember several times when he would come up with a sports opinion about something that no one in like a whole room full of people did not agree with him with, and he would just keep on yelling about it and talking about it and not backing off one bit. Just by himself in the room, expressing one opinion, man by himself. That's just how he was. And it made me feel awesome that like someone like that would want me around. I told Jamil like a couple of weeks ago, like when we were all gathering at the house to like to be with him. It's like everybody in the Perdigera family like has a way of like welcoming you, and I thank everybody in the family for like welcoming me into your home. I thank you guys for like welcoming me as your friend, and Jeff, I thank you for that as well. Thank you, Jeff. Take care. God bless.
Once again, thank you guys, and on behalf of Uncle Otto, Auntie Lilia, Jerry, and Jamil, we thank you guys for supporting the family and coming together to for Jeff. If you would like to come forward to pay your last respects, please come forward as we have a few more minutes here at the church. So feel free to come forward. Thank you very much.